there is always room for the small business, even when larger business would flourish. And I'm reminded of one little saying in a short story by Maxim Gorky in an entirely different context, when he advised that the brighter moon star will shine even when the moon is out. So that the brightest star could be the small businesses that would always carve a niche for themselves, even while you have side by side big, giant businesses. Because the creativity, the talent, the ingenuity starts from the small, humble first efforts. When the chairperson said that there is a business selling dog food, it is not perhaps new as a business, except that only recently I've seen, going to the AFC office on the side street, dog food being sold in plastic bags, but I have seen it's being canned overseas. But we are catching up. But selling food for dogs perhaps might not have been always just what it is. Reminds me of the story of the man who walks into the restaurant and asks the proprietor, "Do you have dog food?" And his answer was, "To use here or take away?" So we are perhaps making small efforts in developing business that we can sell food for dogs. And also I believe that the theme that has been chosen, business exposition, is actually positioning us in Guyana to give meaning to small initiatives. Whether it is in achar or is in so many other products, as I have discovered recently going to the Guyana Manufacturers Association, what is now and Services Association, I took home the best coffee I ever drank. Pomeroon coffee, made here in Guyana. And made, I am told, next door to where I live, in a little village called Liliandal on the East Coast. I took home a tiny bottle of coconut oil, and I realized that at last there seems to be a nascent pride in coconut oil, that we could now put it in tiny exotic bottles enough to push in our pockets. And you can see, if you see no gray in my hair, it's because Pomeroon coconut oil is as good as any oil. And so we are making innovations. And I want to say that our government has started just 6 months ago with encouraging these innovations by bringing in players and make them feel that they are worthy of being Guyanese players, Guyanese stakeholders, as business people will say. We started as soon as we got into office by convening a national cane farmers conference. And we know that it is important for us to stimulate small cane producers to help to make the sugar industry viable and more productive. We had meetings with the Tushaus of Guyana and the indigenous peoples' representatives to make sure that they understand that they are part and parcel of this process in Guyana to resuscitate village and interior life, to bring them within the economy, to bring them within fairs, that they are not just going to be given handouts, but they can become important producers. Their peanuts can be peanuts butter. Their peanuts could be packaged, as Minister of Finance remarked, and even be distributed in our airlines as peanuts with honey, because we do have honey here as well. And so we wanted to bring our indigenous people within the economy, within entrepreneurship and competition. We had meetings with our women in a women forum on the social cohesion banner and a women round table, so that they understand that they are also important players within the Guyanese economy. And we have many other, the youth forum and others, the importance being that we wanted to take the message that we were about growing the economy, stimulating jobs, because after all, for me, a business responds to a need for a profit. You're not doing it for free. And when you make a profit, you pay your taxes, you help the state to provide services, you help to grow the country, to develop your society. In other words, the small business person has an advantage, not simply to be a progressive business person, but to be a patriot who with his ingenuity or her ingenuity can contribute to the growth and development of our country while they themselves develop as well. So it is with these words and my song, of course, I wish now to commend all the participants in this explosion called exposition. Before we used to have exhibitions, but I now know that the exposition is to be able to exhibit these hardwares and goods for buyers in the marketplace to come and buy wholesale as well, perhaps in the end retail goods, so that this is a new dimension in marketing, a new dimension of exhibiting ourselves. Should we not be able to say just born in Guyana, we should say made in Guyana, and it adds doubly to the pride we feel as Guyanese. President David Granger unfortunately could not be here, and I am honored that I could act for him, perhaps not as ably as he could say things that are dearest to his heart, as his love for young people getting into business, for entrepreneur trying to start getting into the economy. But I still believe that had he been here, he would have wished you all great successes for the expansion of your business. And it is in his name and in the name of our government that I have the honor to declare this business exposition open.
It is my pleasure, on behalf of the Ministry of Business, to welcome you to Business Expo 2015, which is a collaboration between the Ministry of Business and the Guyana Manufacturers and Services Association. I'd like to endorse the description given by the President of the Guyana Manufacturers and Services Association, Mr. Clinton Williams, who spoke earlier, of how the event came about and the thinking behind Business Expo 2015. Most of you would be aware that there is an annual event called Guy Expo, which takes place around September every year, right here at the National Exhibition Center. With the change of government in May of this year, there was simply not enough time to bring this event off in September. It was also suggested that next year being the 50th anniversary of Guyana's independence, it would probably be a good idea to have a special grand Guy Expo sometime around May of next year. Out of this arose the decision to defer Guy Expo to May of 2016. In making this decision, we were aware that there are many small businesses which depend on Expo each year to showcase their products and services and to boost their incomes. It so happened that around that time, we were having discussions between the Ministry of Business and the Guyana Manufacturers and Services Association, and they had expressed an interest in Expo, and that is when we decided to explore the concept of an Expo event that could replace the deferred Expo, so that those small businesses would not be deprived of an opportunity to exhibit and to earn as they had done in previous years. In doing this, we found that there was a lot of like-mindedness in the room, and when it came to what the event should be all about, it was agreed that it should have a business development focus rather than an entertainment focus. This doesn't mean that it won't have a little bit of flavor. We also wanted to direct the attention to small businesses. The organizing committee was then tasked with arranging this event, and tonight we are all here opening Business Expo 2015 under the theme Guyanese Products and Services, Your Gateway to the Good Life. Our gateway to the good life, sorry. But Business Expo is more than just a one-off event. It is a targeted measure that addresses two of the Ministry of Business's main goals, around which our 5-year strategic plan is crafted. Those goals are to support the development and exports of value-added industries, and 2, to increase the economic opportunities and capabilities of vulnerable groups. This event presents a real opportunity for small businesses to have access to a volume of customers over a 3-day period that they may not ordinarily encounter in an entire year of business. And this allows them to showcase and to sell their products and to get valuable feedback that can be used to improve these products. And for many small businesses that really can't afford to advertise and have to rely on word-of-mouth recommendations to expand their customer base, Business Expo provides an opportunity to get the word out about their business. And of course, there's the free media coverage here that they can take advantage of over the next 2 days. Business Expo also includes a number of business-related workshops in areas such as procurement procedures, tender board procedures, digitizing your business, financing your business, entrepreneurship, effective trade fair participation, and marketing through film. I was very happy to see the quality of exhibits and the types of services being promoted here today. I took an earlier walkabout around lunchtime, and most of them had already set up by then. The vast majority are small businesses, as we said, and their diversity is quite encouraging. We would like to explore the further development of this event to see whether it can become an effective measure in encouraging broader participation in profitable economic activities. Access to our country's economic space must be available to all Guyanese, regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, or which region or community you belong to. Vulnerable sections of our population must not be shut out of economic opportunities. As I mentioned, we are happy to be partnering with the GM and SA on Business Expo. It is important that Guyana should have a vibrant, independent, innovative, and competitive private sector that can partner with government and other stakeholders through an ongoing, structured engagement on matters related to our country's economic development. Our government is committed to partnering with a progressive private sector in building a strong and sustainable economy. To this extent, also, no one will be shut out. Guyana has become a challenging place to do business. And this, of course, is reflected in our rankings in the annual World Bank Ease of Doing Business reports. The most recent report, which was released last month, saw Guyana slide even further down the rankings to 137th place out of the 189 countries surveyed. The areas in which Guyana was ranked lowest were access to credit and getting electricity. To address these issues directly, the Ministry of Business will soon be engaging stakeholders in the electricity sector to explore options for making it easier for businesses to get access to electricity. Also, we will be supporting legislative amendments designed to improve the transfer of information from credit providers to credit bureau operators, to strengthen the lending process which businesses rely on to access financing. The Ministry of Business will continue to identify areas where the ease of doing business in Guyana needs to be improved, and implement and recommend measures for those improvements. I'd like to mention also that Guyana, through Go Invest, is currently hosting the annual general meeting of the Caribbean Association of Investment Promotion Agencies. And some of our regional counterparts in the field of investment promotion are here with us this evening. And I'd like to give them a big welcome to Business Expo 2015. CAIPA, as the organization is called, the CAIPA annual meeting is an important forum, and Guyana is proud to be hosting it this year. The decisions emanating from their discussions will contribute to the shaping of our own economy, and the regional investment promotion strategy, which was developed last year, provides a strong supporting framework through which our own investment promotion agency, Go Invest, can redouble its efforts to bring more foreign direct investment into our economy. I'd like to thank the president of CAIPA, Mr. Mikhail Andrew, who was the previous speaker, for so readily agreeing to share his thoughts with us this evening. And I'd like to say thank you very much. I don't see him anymore. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. And there are some people I would like to thank. I'd like to thank them for organizing the publicity, the security, the tickets, the shirts, the letters, the phone calls, the emails, the accounting, the preparation of the venue, and the coordination of this opening night. The organizing committee for Business Expo 2015, I'd like to say thank you very much for all the hard work that you've done in getting us to where we are now. I'd like to say a big thank you also to our sponsors who provided the much needed support that events like this require. I thank you for responding the way that you did.